What if you could help others to find the power to heal themselves? Physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
When I started teaching my classes, it was in 2002, and I was just doing the past life regressions and contacting the subconscious part. But then as the time went on and we found how powerful this was and what we could do with it, a lot of the students began saying, advanced past life regression doesn't really tell what it's all about. This is so much more than that. We think you should change the name. So it was a few years ago we decided to change the name to Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. And this is the healing technique that we've now been teaching it, since 2002, that's 12 years.
What if you could time travel with them? Visit mythical places or angelic realms, other worlds, other galaxies. Help others to speak to their higher selves. You can. Dolores has taught thousands of people from across the world how to use QHHT, and now you can learn her method by going directly to dolorescannon.com. And don't forget to mention the discount code MORETALKS. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Kevin Moore Show. Now on today's show, I'm about to be joined by my guest, Dr. Susan Shumsky. Now Susan has over 40 years experience teaching in the consciousness field, and Susan has dedicated her life to helping people take command of their lives in highly effective, powerful, positive ways. Now, she is an award-winning best-selling author of over 20 books, and she joins me today to discuss her latest book, Prosperity Meditations. Dr. Susan Shumsky, welcome to the show.
Oh, I'm excited to be here with you today, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me.
It's great to have you back on, and I'll put your previous shows just in the description below, because I think you mentioned to me off air that potentially you've been on twice before. I definitely remember the once before. And you've done how many books?
20 in English, 36 foreign editions, and I've won 42 book awards.
Wow. That is a lot of books. And of course, some of them are audio books as well. And like you say, foreign language. I
didn't count the audiobooks.
Oh, right. Yes, of course. Yeah. How do you, where's the time come in to do all that? How are you?
Not much sleep.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, you'll have to show us your prescription once we stop this show, and I'll compare it to mine and see what you're doing, because, do you think, when you say not much sleep, but you are,
I'm just kidding. Actually.
Yeah. Okay.
I do work really hard, but I do get enough sleep.
I'm actually not. That's a difference. I'm not sleeping enough, and I'm just pushing myself.
Really
too much.
Important to get enough. It
sleep. Is. Well, that's
abundance
my point.
of sleep too.
There's your next book.
Prosperous sleep.
There's your next book. Right. We've already got it. Yeah, prosperous sleep. That's a great title. Right. See, we've already
I'm going to look up when I was on your show before.
Yeah. I think, yeah, well, go on then. We don't normally do this. Go on, let's have a look. You've, because I think you must have some sort of,
database. Yeah.
Yes, there you go. Organization, that's what it is. Yeah. Well, actually, I should just say to the audience as well, you're checking that I am actually just going through a rebrand right now. So all my previous shows are going to be on my new website soon, which is now I've gone under the name The Kevin Moore Show for a while, and I'm rebranding back to The Moore Show, which I was always The Moore Show, and I changed it to The Kevin Moore Show. We're just going back to The Moore Show, and all the past shows are going back on there. I'm actually just going through a rebranding where I'm on taken all my past content, over 1,000 shows, and they're all being sliced and diced and put onto shorts, clips, and an audio podcast. So there's shitloads going on in the background right now by myself, myself, and I, my split personality that's helping me do all this, but I can't do it all by myself forever, and I'm learning to delegate. Well, I will be soon, because I'll be having a breakdown if I don't, right? So so it's as simple as that. So yes, lots. So when was it? When was I?
November 10th of 2015.
Yes. Okay.
And I don't know when they broadcast. I know when we recorded them.
2015, bloody hell, yeah.
11/10 of 2015 and June 1st of 2016.
Okay. Well, I will find them, and they're going to go in the link below. So this interview is going to be based around prosperity, and is that something that you've? Because I know obviously all your books are varied, and they're all different and they're all wonderful. But I mean, is that something? Is that a common theme in the books, in all the books? Do you think, or some?
Not
of the books?
At all.
No. So what?
No, I've never written about prosperity before.
What is leading you to write about that? What's this push for that?
My publisher asked me to write the book.
Great. Okay. So
almost all the books I've written are because my publisher asked me to.
But I should say though, but that conversation of her asking you to write them, there must have been, because you've lived it, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there wasn't a conversation about it. They just said, "Would you please write this book? We have this idea." And I said, "Okay, yeah, I can write that." I'm really glad, though, that every book that they've asked me to write, I'm so glad that they asked me to write it, because I learn something new every time I write a new book.
Well, I've got to say that it's a small book, and it's easy. It's going to come on the screen as well. It's easy to digest, and I think that you have gone through a lot of the things that you put in there, and I think it's a great it's actually a really good book. So yeah, when you look back at it now, I mean, obviously, do you feel that that a lot that's in the book you have experienced?
Absolutely, yeah, because I've struggled with abject poverty. There were times when I didn't know what am I going to do now? It's like I have to have enough money to survive, and really, my faith in spirit, my connection to spirit is really what sustained me through all the struggles that I've gone through. And eventually I learned how to be led by spirit. I learned how to have faith and trust in God, and to follow, to obey, to do what I'm guided to do, to allow my life to be led by spirit. It was the greatest decision I ever made in my life. And as a result of that, my life just became miraculous on every level. And, even though COVID has decimated my travel business for 2 years, I'm fine because, there was money in the bank, because I believe in prosperity, and because I don't believe in debt. So I've been fine.
Absolutely. And when you say led by spirit, you mean that you feel that it intuitively guided?
Intuitively guided. It's a good way to put it. I love that phrase you just said. Intuitively guided, allowing intuition to guide me, but not just allowing it to guide me, but actually having concrete conversations with spirit and being led, that practically, practical way.
That greater voice in your head coming back to you.
Right.
It's your voice, but it's the wiser, deeper, knowing, loving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I wrote a book about that. This one here, Awaken Your Divine Intuition.
You have got. Do you know what? I could get you on for book after book right now, we may do. we may do, because over 20 books. How the hell are we going to cover that in 1 hour? So, no, we're not. And we're going to stick with the prosperity, because I think, I need a bit of that right now as well.
Exactly. We all do. COVID has really kind of messed up the world economy, frankly. There's all kinds of problems with the supply chain, and it's just crazy. I mean, the world has gone crazy over COVID.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that would have been the fallout from such a thing? And no one did. I think, yes, people like Bill Gates may have predicted, that this could have been a reality, but he openly admits he would never have predicted the economic disaster that would have, gone along with it worldwide as well. So yes, this is a good timing.
When people aren't working, it's a problem. Right now, they're having problems with the police department because so many are out sick. They can't, they can't even do their job.
Well,
that's just one example.
Nursing homes, nursing shortages, all sorts of shortages. Do you know? Yeah,
shortages in every area.
Every area. So, and I think that's where it comes.
Teachers, everything.
Yeah. That's where it comes. For being grateful, even though we may not have a lot right now, right? For some of us, right? Being grateful of what you have got, I think that goes a long way as well.
Well, it's all about the attitude, and gratitude is an important attitude. In fact, I don't know if I have a whole chapter in there in the book. I definitely have gratitude affirmations and prayers in that book. Prosperity meditations.
So just before we get into the book, because we're going to talk about that, which we are kind of covering it, your websites are?
drsusan.org and also divinetravels.com. That's plural on the travels, DIVINETRAVELS.com.
But this is going to be an interview about prosperity meditations. Now, this is a book that comes out this year, 2021, I think. Am I right to say it comes out in January 2021?
January 14th, 2022.
What the freaking hell am I talking about 2021 for? I mean 2022, yes. Okay.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I guess it's just turned 2022, hasn't it? Okay, so what is it about? I'll let you answer, because obviously I'll tell you honest, I've not had a chance to read this, and I'm probably not going to get a chance to read many books with the kind of schedule that I've got right now. But how would you start with this book then? If you're going to sum it up real quick, elevator pitch, what the hell is it about?
Well, it is everyday practices to create an abundant life. In other words, very simple things, simple strategies that you can do to help you to become abundant in all areas of life: physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, all areas in abundance. And by the way, it has many techniques in it for that, including meditation, affirmations, prayers, guided meditations, mantras, all geared towards being abundant in all these different areas.
And is it working for you?
Well, I'm quite abundant, actually. I do very well with all the endeavors that I have been doing for many years. And I feel like I have a very abundant life, yes.
Okay, what is abundance to you then?
Well, abundance means that I call it prosperity consciousness. And prosperity consciousness means that you know that you deserve to be happy, healthy, joyous, abundant on all levels.
And if that's not happening?
And if it's not happening, you've got to start somewhere. So these practices that are in the book can help you to change your attitude, because as Lord Buddha said in the very first verse of the first chapter of the Dhammapada, which is probably the most important Buddhist scripture that exists, he says, all that we are is the result of what we have thought, which I think is a stunning statement when you think about it. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. And he goes on to say, if a person speaks or acts with a pure thought, then happiness follows him or her. If a person speaks or acts with an impure thought, then unhappiness follows him or her. So what he's saying is that we create our own destiny. We are creating our own reality moment by moment, day by day, with every thought, every word, and every deed. So it's really important that, especially the way we speak, words are very important. Jesus once said, we are not defiled by what we put into our mouth. We're defiled by what comes out of our mouth. In other words, we're creating our future. We're creating everything in our lives through the things that we think, what goes through our minds, the things that we say, and the things that we do. For example, if we go around saying, oh, I'm so unhappy, I'm so sick, I'm so tired, I'm so poor, I'm so unhappy. If we go and say that, you can just feel the vibration just closing in, contracting. We're creating that reality for ourselves. However, if we say things like, I am joyous, I am fulfilled, I am happy, I am abundant, I am prosperous, I am filled with light, I'm filled with love, I'm filled with joy, that lifts the vibration and it instantly changes our attitude. And our attitude is what creates our destiny. So if we can speak in a positive way and try to think in a positive way, of course, we don't really have that much control over the thoughts that are just streaming through our minds, but we have a lot of control over what we say and what we do. So we start with baby steps in the direction of creating a more prosperous consciousness. And I think there's so many wonderful tools in this book to help people do that.
I think it's okay though to have thoughts of all the other thoughts that you say that we shouldn't think. I think it's just human, isn't it, to think other thoughts.
That's the reason I say that we don't have that much control over what goes through our minds, but we do have a lot of control over what we say and what we do. And we can have a more positive...
Who is walking around though? Just think about who is walking around all the time, thinking only in that positivity, only in that the way that you're portraying that people should be thinking. I mean I don't think a lot of people would be walking around like that all the time. I mean, that there's all sorts of thoughts going on, isn't there, in one's mind?
Absolutely. That's why I say we don't have very much control over what we think. We have a lot of control over what comes out of our mouths and what we do day by day. So we are responsible for creating our destiny ourselves. That's all that Buddha and Jesus and all the sages throughout the ages have been telling us, is that we're creating our own destiny and that we're responsible for it. That's all. And there's nothing wrong with having negative thoughts. Everybody has negative thoughts.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Not at all. I mean, you cannot be in denial. You cannot. How would you live? How would anyone live if there wasn't? I mean, look. I mean, it's just normal, isn't it? I mean, so what are you really saying? What are you really saying then? So on one hand, you're saying we shouldn't have if we didn't have those thoughts, and only thought the positive thoughts and everything else, then that would be the way forward. But then I'm saying to you, we don't live like that. Then you're agreeing with it. So what is the way forward then?
So what I'm suggesting is through practicing some of the methods in the book. There are guided meditations, for example, and guided meditation is the easiest way for anyone to meditate. People complain, oh, I can't meditate. Oh, I can't meditate because I can't blank my mind. I can't meditate because I can't concentrate. I have no time to meditate. All kinds of excuses about that they can't meditate, when they know that meditation is good and it can be helpful. It will uplift them. It will bring greater health and well-being and also a more positive attitude. So guided meditation is the easiest meditation to practice, because I call it the do nothing program. Do nothing, nothing, and less than nothing, simply by listening to or reading the words, and that guides you into meditation step by step by step, so you don't have to do anything in order to go into the meditative state. Just follow the instructions. So there's a lot of guided meditations in the book. There's also affirmations, affirmative statements that you can speak, which changes your vibration, lifts your vibration, changes your attitude immediately, instantly. And then also mantras, traditional mantras from India, which are Sanskrit words that have specific effects. So that is also in the book. And so also practices that you can do, for example, vision boards, vision scrapbooks, goal setting, all these different ways to focus our intention more and thereby create a more positive outcome in our lives.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I mean, I think, visualizing it, what you want to see complete, and having, just all that positive stuff around you, even if it's on your walls, do you know what I mean? Or wherever you're going to put it, right? Of constantly repeating, what it is that, you wish for or wish to bring into your life. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying, is that we can take command of our destiny. We already are in command of it anyway, but we could consciously take command of it and intentionally create the kind of life that we want to live by these methods: visualization, affirmation, prayer, meditation, all these ways in which it's really a matter of focus. It's a matter of being clear with our goals and then making them happen. I'm a kind of a go get it done kind of person. My entire life, I have had the attitude that I can do anything that I put my mind to. And so generally what I do is I just make a firm and final decision about whatever it is that I want to create. And then I do everything in my power possible to manifest it. And that doesn't mean sitting around with your eyes closed and saying, oh, it means getting out and getting it done, setting goals, getting it done, and making it happen. I've always had the kind of attitude that I can make it happen. And generally that's what I do.
Yeah. I think I've experienced that low in my life recently, where it's just been like absolutely nothing out there. It feels like would be, all those goals that I thought I had before. None of them feel very like like it's that uplifting feeling of something that you really want. I'm not using the right words, but yeah, it's just
I think what you're
drained.
Yeah, what you're saying is
you get to that point where absolutely nothing feels like you want to do. You just
right. Yeah. What you're saying is you don't have the passion that you had before.
Passion for nothing. Yeah. How about that?
So there's a little exercise that I have in the book Prosperity Meditations. It's called the Unlimited Thinking Exercise. And what that is you would take out a piece of paper and a pencil or pen or whatever, and your writing instrument, and you would write what you would do with your life if you had unlimited time, unlimited health, unlimited positive, optimistic attitude, if you had unlimited helpers, if you absolutely could not fail, if you had unlimited joy, unlimited happiness, unlimited money, if everything was unlimited, if you were in that situation, what would you do? What would you do with your days? What would you do when you wake up every morning? And I suggest that it would be a good idea to use that exercise, simply writing a list of the things that you would do. And then once that list is done, if you look at your list, you will probably have some revelations about your mission, your passion, your purpose, your destiny, and maybe get some ideas of choosing one of the things on the list and taking some baby steps to fulfill that. So the thing is, when we're in a situation where we really feel like we're butting our head against a wall and it's just nothing's working, then that's the time to reevaluate what our priorities are. And making a list like that, I mean, when I'm doing this on a TV or radio venue like this, I can't really do the exercise properly. The best way to do the exercise is have people write the list, and then after they've done writing the list, then tell them what the list means and how they can use it. And that would be like in a classroom situation, but just explaining it this way can be helpful, because I think that if you get the gist of it, sitting down and writing that list, it will really give you some insights about what your true passions and mission is in life. Because that which you would do when you're in an unlimited situation, when you absolutely could not fail, and you had unlimited people around you to help you with it, that's exactly the thing that you should be doing in this lifetime.
Yeah. I guess I think we said this off camera as well, that when something's so difficult to get up and running, or when something's just not happening, it could just be that you've just got to keep going. If you give up, you're going to give up too soon. But I wonder where that cutoff is. I wonder where that cutoff is, where no, this is not meant to be. This is just insane. What's the difference? Well, yeah, isn't insane? Is it insane? It's almost being an entrepreneur sometimes. Like I guess, I don't know.
I hear what you're saying. I just have the attitude, just keep at it until it happens, and never give up. If it's your real heart's desire, if it is really that which is so prioritized, so it's like the top of your list of what you want to accomplish in your life, I would say never give up on that. Continue. Just persistent, doggedly keep at it until it manifests.
What do you think about the secret and the law of attraction then?
Okay, well, the secret is really no secret. It's been around for a really long time. All the great saints and sages throughout the ages have told us that we're responsible for our own destiny, and that we can create anything, and that every thought, every word, and every deed that we do is a prayer. Basically, it's something that is contributing towards our destiny. In other words, we're manifesting our future. We're manifesting it ourselves. Nothing ever happens to us. We only happen to ourselves. And we're the actor on the stage, we're the producer, we're the director. We've even written the script. So we are the only thing that is creating our destiny, and we are 100% responsible for it. So in The Secret, they say, manifest your goals, really saying pretty much the same thing that I'm saying in Prosperity Meditations. The great thing about this book, Prosperity Meditations, is that it gives you it's just filled with specific exercises to help you to, especially if you're feeling low, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling depressed, that just speaking one of these affirmations or doing one of these meditations will immediately change your attitude, immediately help you to become more positive, and that positivity will seep into your daily life and help you to visualize and then create the things that you want to create.
Very difficult though for
It is.
When you're struggling to just find your next bit of money to just survive. That is easier said than done.
Absolutely.
I mean, maybe you can't be in the place you're talking about when you're not even at that level, when you can't even provide for yourself. What does any of this stuff matter that we're talking about, really?
Well, like I said, you have to start somewhere, and baby steps, taking a small step, speaking an affirmation, changing the way that you speak. These are things that you can do.
Do you think you'll be? Do you think you'll be thinking that way if you couldn't even provide for yourself? Do you think you'll be thinking that way?
Thinking which way?
The way you're talking about thinking. If you can't even provide for yourself, or you're not even bringing enough money in, I don't know if you would be able to or want to think that way. Well, why would you want to think that way? Or would you be able to think that way if you're not in the right state of mind, if you can't even provide for yourself, or you're struggling?
I hear what you're saying. And that pessimistic state of mind, the depressed state of mind, you have to start somewhere to bring yourself out of that.
Do you think it's that though? Do you think it's thinking like that? Or do you think it's actually, no, we need to be more practical actually right now? Forget all this what we're talking about. It's got to be more practical. I mean, I'm just saying people may struggle to come to that space at that moment. You must have been there yourself, and you were not thinking like that at the time. You're thinking like that now because you know better. But when you're in it, it's so difficult. You're not thinking like that.
I think that I've always, even though I have had extremely challenging life, but I have to say that I've always felt that I was in command, that I could change the circumstances. I mean, I've been very down and out of it. I've gone through a lot of really challenging situations, but I've always had goals. I've always wanted to create something. And I think that perhaps that desire to be creative and to change and to produce things and make things happen is what really has sustained me through the difficult times.
And sometimes I think you've just got to go through it. I mean, we can talk, can't we? But you just got to see it through sometimes. No talking will get you, you just got to get through it. And then maybe when you're in a better place, maybe you can start thinking like this.
Yeah. Again, you have to start somewhere. And, just taking one of the affirmations from prosperity meditation, such as, here's an affirmation, for example, I am in control. I am the only authority in my life. I am divinely protected by the light of my being. I close off my aura and body of light to the lower astral levels of mind, and I open to the spiritual world. Thank you, God, and so it is. So just saying something like that will immediately empower you, make you feel better, make you feel stronger. And then from that stronger place, you can act from a stronger place. And meditation is very powerful for helping you to become more centered, more balanced, and more in control. What I'm saying is that we can change. We have the ability to change. We have the ability to move into a more positive direction than we've been going through by doing some simple exercises. That's all.
So why are some people then wealthy and others are poor? Is that a karmic thing, do you think?
Well, karma, the word karma means action. That's all it means. It doesn't mean punishment. It doesn't mean reward. It doesn't mean that there are some karmic lords in the sky that are going to zap you and make you suffer. Karma there's no such thing as the kind of fantasies that people believe about karma. The reality is the law of karma simply states that we're creating our destiny through every thought, every word, and every deed. And so if we're creating actions, we want to create actions that will help us to manifest our true purpose, our true passion, that which we came on earth to do. So karma is simply thoughts, speech, and actions, once again. Now, what was the question again?
Oh, well, it was,
did I answer it?
I think so, yeah. Well, it was, why are some people wealthy and others are poor?
So, why are some people? So, some people, the reason why some people are, for example, born into poor circumstances, other people are born into wealthy circumstances. Well, I believe in reincarnation. A lot of things make a lot of sense when you believe in reincarnation, because we didn't just pop out of the womb as a clean slate and then all of a sudden everything that we learn is that's all that we are. The reality is we've been around the block tens of thousands of times. We've lived other lives, and in past lives we've created actions, and then the result of those actions, there are consequences to every action. So then we, for example, at the end of a lifetime, when we die, our soul evaluates what has happened to us in that lifetime. And then we make a choice as to what kind of life is going to be our next life. So we might be born into certain circumstances because we want to learn certain things, or because we have certain beliefs. And those beliefs and habits and conditioning continue on into the next life. So in other words, like I said, we're not a clean slate when we're born. We have all of the habits, conditions, beliefs. We brought those over from past lives. So that's why some people are born into difficult situations and others are born into privileged situations, for example. Then once we're in a situation, what do we do with that? Like I say, we're creating our own destiny moment by moment, day by day. We're responsible for what we've created. And some people create wealth, some people don't. Now, there's nothing wrong with whatever circumstance we're in, and feeling guilty about it is not going to help. So the best thing to do is just, put on the big boy pants and get out there and make things happen. Do your best to change your attitude, and that way you can change your destiny. My book, Prosperity Meditations, is really about changing your attitude. It's really about changing those thoughts, words, and thereby having a positive platform in which to change your destiny.
So why do you think that some people then think that money is an evil thing, and and others don't have that sort of perspective on money? But do you think some people think that, and do you think that's because of some sort of past life thing, or something?
A very simple answer to that question. People believe that money is evil because they read the Bible, because they believe the Bible. They believe that Jesus said that money is the root of all evil or whatever. So they have this idea that there's something wrong with money, that money is bad, that people who are rich can never be spiritual, people who are spiritual can never be rich. All of these beliefs about money don't help us. In fact, they hinder us from becoming prosperous on every level. So to believe that money is bad will just push money away. Money goes where it's welcomed. Prosperity goes where you have a come to me attitude. When you love money, then money will love you and will come to you more. So here's an affirmation that's in my book.
I love money. Can I just say that? I love money. I do.
I love money.
I actually
that
do.
That is an affirmation.
I actually do love money. I've always loved business. I've always loved money. But Jesus,
awesome.
Man, what a struggle it's been recently. I'll say that.
Right.
And I think to myself, where's the old me gone? Do you know what I mean? It's still me. I'm me still. Well, I think I am, unless I've had a walk in. But yeah, anyway.
So one of the affirmations in the book Prosperity Meditations is, I love money. Money loves me. It comes to me often and stays with me always. So just by saying, in fact, when you said, I love money, it uplifted the entire vibration of our conversation. I just felt a shift in the atmosphere from you simply saying, I love money.
I know, but I can say that, right? But it doesn't. Who's got my money then? Who's got my?
Well, that's a good attitude too. Who's got my money? Give it to me. So the more that you say, I love money, and money, come to me. That's the kind of attitude that we're helping people to realize.
Do you know what? I might even do something completely different in the not too distant future, like house flipping or something like that. Actually do. I don't think I want to experience having nothing again, because right now going through immigration and having this nothingness, I'm done with it. I'm bored of it. I'm not
fed up you are, more fed up you are, the more you'll have the incentive to make something happen.
Yeah, I just I'm gonna take your advice on doing that idea of, like, if you had everything, what would you want to put?
Yeah, the unlimited thinking exercise.
I think that's a great exercise. Yeah, sorry.
Which is in the book. Where is it? It's on. If you look in the appendix,
I should say that. I mean, look, this is the book. I mean, the book's been coming up on the screen, but just in my hands, it's a tiny little, easy to read, 300-page tops little booklet, and hey, maybe I've got a copy of it for a reason, right? Do you think?
Absolutely.
Oh dear. I've taken you completely off track there. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just talking about people who, a lot of people who are spiritual, they really push money away. They think that money is bad, and they think that there's no way that they can realize God or become enlightened or have a higher consciousness if they have money, which is ridiculous. The important thing is to look at our attitude. What do we really feel about money? Are we just jealous of people who are rich? Do we put down people who are rich? Do we criticize rich people? Do we feel that poor people in general are more elevated, are better than rich people? So it's important, especially for people who are kind of conscious, whatever you call it, new age type people, metaphysical type people, to just look at what they really feel about money. I mean, what are you thinking about money? Are you thinking that the people who have it, there's something that they're not as highly evolved as you are? It's really important for us to look at our attitude about money and do our best to change it.
What's the common
Pardon me?
attitude? What do you think the common attitude is in the sort of spiritual?
I think that most spiritual people in the kind of new age and metaphysical community think that it's more elevated or more holy to be poor.
That's
if
sad.
they really look at their attitude.
That's so sad. Yeah.
It is sad because people who are spiritual, wouldn't they be able to be more effective in the world and fulfill their high aspirations that they have if they had money? You know, I was a disciple of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. He was the guru of the Beatles. In fact, I wrote this memoir, Maharishi and Me Seeking Enlightenment with the Beatles Guru. And a lot of people put him down because they said, oh, after he died, he had $1 billion empire, you know, and even when he was with the Beatles, he's just in it for the money and money and all. And, you know, I actually worked in finance for this guy. I was an accountant, and believe me, he was not making a lot of money. He was holding courses. It was just like any teacher or church or nonprofit organization. You have to run the organization and you have to have some money coming in, money going out. But no one was getting rich, believe me. So, but still, even if he died as a billionaire, great. I mean, wonderful. That means more people will meditate. It means they'll be more effectual if they have money. So we want people who are spiritual, people who really have the intention to do good in the world. We want them to have more money. And the only way that's going to happen is if they change their attitude. If they welcome money, come to me. I welcome. At some point in my life, I changed my attitude about money, and then it started really rolling in, frankly.
Put me in a bath of money right now, right?
Exactly.
Yes. But I think anyone that's been successful, or what we would class as successful financially, it ain't just come to them. I mean, it's been a shed ton of hard work.
Yes.
A lot of mountain climbing, or a lot of it's just there's no easy, sort of destination to get there, and you're kind of touching on prosperity consciousness as well when you talk about the people spiritually struggling, or spiritual people struggling. I suppose that there's the it is that same thing of like whatever you're thinking is what you are creating, I guess. I hate to say those words, but I guess it's true.
Well, I'm glad you admitted it finally.
Yeah.
It's all well and good to sit around and moan and groan about it, but guess what? You created it.
I know. I just, sometimes you just feel like bloody walking away from it. and
I hear
starting
you.
afresh, and you're like, is it am I being kind to myself by not walking away and just, and am I dragging a dead horse? And but
Well, it depends on the horse, you know.
it depends on the horse. Yeah.
How is that horse? Is that
No, I
horse
think
lame and
I
limping, or is that horse?
once the horse is better, I think it could be a Grand National winner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, and that all goes down back to what you were saying earlier on about, if you took the money away, would you still enjoy doing it? So that is there any way to sort of check in with yourself that you are not self-sabotaging yourself in your sort of conscious thinking as well?
Yeah. That it's a little bit tricky, isn't it? Because maybe we think that we're going in a certain direction, but in fact, we're that little in the back of our head, some little demon is like self-sabotaging. So once again, really, you got to start somewhere. You got to take the baby steps. And prosperity meditations. I wish I had a copy of the book. It hasn't come out yet, so I don't have it, but you have it. So by just doing a few exercises, by just taking a minute or two every day and saying some positive statements, and perhaps using some of the visualizations and guided meditations, you'll start to get rid of those little demons in the back of your head that are sabotaging yourself. And, whenever we notice that we are having these negative thoughts, if we remember to maybe pick up the book at that point and just start, just flip it to any page and start just saying an affirmation that's on that page, instantly you'll just find you're in a better place. You'll have a more positive attitude about abundance, and you'll create greater abundance in all areas of your life.
Do you know,
You have to start. Just do
absolutely,
something.
yeah. And I'm just going to touch on the book just very quickly, but do you know, it's interesting what you're saying there, but what you said earlier on about the past life stuff. I'm pretty sure that if the past lives do exist, and what if they're happening now, right? They're not past as we understand them, right? It's all connected, right? In some ways that we're in some understandable way, right? And what if it's vows of poverty, vows of
Yes, vows of poverty.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of vows,
Yes, vows.
and what if we've all had those lives in the churches, in the sense we've all had those sort of lives of being a monk, in a sense. Do you know what I mean? And those lives are the strongest sort of bounding some of us than any other lives would be.
Absolutely. And guess what? When we make those vows, they don't go away until we disavow them, until we cancel them. So maybe, yeah, we could say something. Let me think of an affirmation. I now call upon the Holy Spirit to lovingly lift, heal, release, dissolve, and let go of all limiting thoughts, emotions, and feelings that no longer serve me. I now release, let go, and dissolve all thoughts of past vows of poverty, of past beliefs about money that no longer serve me. I release all thoughts that it is more holy to be in poverty. I release all vows that I made of poverty in any past lives. I now let go of all past beliefs that money is evil, that money is the root of all evil, that money is bad, that money is unholy, that money is dirty. All these thoughts are now lifted, healed, released, dissolved, and let go into the light of divine love and truth. And I am now filled with positive, powerful, new, creative thoughts and emotions and feelings of prosperity consciousness. I now accept money. I love money. I know that money is holy, money is spiritual, money is power, the power to do good. Money is nothing more than exchange of services and exchange of goods, and exchange of deeds. and that money can be used for good. And I now use money for good. And I now welcome money into my life. So I now accept fully in consciousness all that I have spoken. And I release this affirmation into the spiritual law, knowing it does demonstrate now. Thank you, God. And so it is.
There you go. Yeah. Now I know a lot of people, right? They might be watching this and thinking, "Oh my God, it's so sick. It's all about the money and everything else." But
and those are the people who have that bad attitude about money.
Yeah.
And they will not draw money into their lives.
Yeah. And well, I have no problem with it. I love business, like I say, and I miss the business side that I want to get back into. I'm just saying this to sort of emphasize. Have I said it enough? Is everyone hearing me? You know, I love money, right? I love business, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you are right. In this industry, we are made to feel what a negative, dirty, evil thing that it is, and that's your opinion. Whoever's thinking that out there, that has never been my opinion, and I disagree with anyone that's saying that. So we just said
that's the reason I brought up my guru, who was Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who was, he was a spiritual teacher. He dedicated his life to lifting people, to help people meditate, teach meditation to people, and lift the planet in so many ways. And yet he was vilified for being successful. He was vilified because it worked, and he actually taught, during his lifetime, he taught 6 million people to meditate through his 40,000 teachers that he trained. And including the Beatles, were people who meditated, and a lot of other celebrities, but that's not so important. But what is important is that people realize that just because a person is successful at what they do doesn't make them bad or evil.
No. And Susan, it's fine to name drop. Don't worry, it's okay. So I think you just showed us a bit of a method there as well that teaches us to, how to become more abundant. But when we talk about methods, I mean, look, when I open this book, there's so many prosperity empowerment teachings here. Like, for example, part 1 talks about the unlimited thinking, how, it goes into chapter 1 about, prosperity empowerment, prosperity happiness, prosperity awareness. Part 2, you talk about the manifestations from home and automobile, lifestyle, bank account, career, just manifestation in general, pathway and purpose. Part 3 is all about physical health, mental health, spiritual health. You cover all that as well, and that moves on then to self-love, partnership, relationships, because that's all part of manifestation as well. And then obviously you go on to the the unlimited sort of to the planet, to manifestation of peace on earth, or the larger global scale of things. Because do you feel, I'm all over the place here, but do you feel that that when you can provide for yourself, and that you are able to then obviously go and help others, aren't you? You are then able to go and help. And,
you have more power to help others when you have more money. Just, that's the truth. You can do a lot more. You can be more powerful. You can be more effective in the world when you have more money. And also when you have positive attitude, and, prosperity on every level: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, not just money, but also a positive attitude, and wanting to do good, wanting to help others.
I think that's what it comes down to, doesn't it? I think, when you look at that from that perspective, as you mentioned before many times, that, what is it you'd love to do if you were not trying to do it from the purpose of making money and all that? If it was life purpose, I think most things we would all agree that we would be doing something that would be of empowerment to others, that would be there of beneficial to want to help others. I think most people's dreams actually are about that. Do you know that at a deeper level?
I do. They are.
We just don't always see it like that, do we? But it
right.
is. You talked about a vision scrapbook as well. Just remind us, how and when would we use that?
Okay. So a vision scrapbook, the idea is to get a journal or a scrapbook and then cut out some pictures from magazines or download them from the internet and print them out. And these would be pictures of things you want to manifest in your life. And every page of your scrapbook would be a different area of life. One would be, for example, about relationships and love. Another one might be the home that you want to manifest. Another might be health and well-being. Another might be something you want to create for the planet. And just every page of your scrapbook would have a different theme and have its own pictures. And then you would write some affirmations on that page, have some words of empowerment on the page. You could either write them yourself with magic marker, or you could download them, print them out, write them, print them out, or you can cut them out of magazine when you see positive statements, and you can paste those on your page. You might also want to have a picture of your higher power, whatever it is you believe in, and put that on the top of the page. Maybe you could draw some rays coming from that higher power and onto the picture that you want to create. And then on a daily basis, you would look at your scrapbook. You just go through it, and you might say the affirmations audibly as you're going through your scrapbook. And, I had an interesting experience I made a scrapbook, vision scrapbook at one point, and I cut out a picture of a guy that I was attracted to from the GQ magazine. And I stuck it on the page, and I put some affirmations there about something like my relationship. I now attract my perfect mate, or whatever, something about relationship. And so I used to look at that scrapbook every day. And then after a while, I just put it away. And then one day I ran across the scrapbook again. I opened it up, and I was completely flabbergasted. The picture of the guy that was on that page and the GQ from the GQ magazine, I had been dating a guy for about a year who looked exactly like that person on the page.
Yes.
There was a guy, his name was Asaroff or something. He created a vision board. It wasn't a vision scrapbook, but it was a vision board. And he put on the vision, he had cut out from a magazine a picture of a house. And he, on his vision board, he wanted to manifest a house like this. And then, he put it away after a while. And then he moved, and there was a box. It was all packed up. And his 3-year-old son, I think, said, Daddy, what's in the box or something? And he opened the box, and there was the vision board. And he looked at the vision board, and he was gobsmacked, because the picture of the house on the vision board wasn't like the house that he was living in. It was the house he was living in.
Wow. Oh my God. Yeah, it's powerful, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah.
I thank you for sharing that, because I was watching, I was watching something on one of these YouTube boxers just recently, a guy called Jake Paul, who just won his latest fight. And you got to see a little bit of the behind the scenes, and in his dressing room, there was just like, his mirrors were just covered with manifestation statements. And it just talking about, what we're talking about, reminded me of that video clip that I saw. And I was like, oh, yeah, it does work. So, okay, what is would you say is maybe the biggest secret then to living an abundant life?
The biggest secret to living an abundant life is to find abundance within yourself, is to create prosperity consciousness for yourself, meaning to empower yourself through whatever means, whatever works for you, whether it be meditation, whether it be prayer, whether it be affirmation, whether it be just thinking about, dreaming about what it is you want to create for yourself. And being centered in yourself, and not being dissuaded by the naysayers, by people around you who, like, who do you think you are? You're so important. If you have a lot of people around you who are not supporting your dream and your vision, you might rethink who you want around you, because it doesn't help to have people around you who are criticizing you all the time.
Sure. Yes, absolutely. Not, I can't say I've experienced that, but I mean, for those who have, yes. That's, I always try to be like consciously aware of making sure, whatever someone's telling me or whatever someone's, explained to me that they want to do, or of, just wishing them the best for it, and push it, saying positive things about it. Do you know what I mean? Because I think celebrating someone else's achievements is a positive thing. I mean, I know people can get jealous, but that is so the wrong attitude, isn't it? I mean,
it is. Yeah.
I mean, why is it the wrong attitude? Well, for so many reasons, but I think as well we're all connected, so their win is our win. Do you know what I mean? At a deeper level, and it's what they came here to experience. You may not want the same experience at all. Trust me. Okay, if there was any visualization that could that you would highly recommend, just before we go here, what would that be, do you think?
I think visualizing yourself in a happy situation, whatever that means to you. Visualize yourself happy. Happiness is abundant, being abundant. What I'm saying is abundance of happiness. I'm not saying money. I'm not saying any specific thing, just happiness, just visualizing yourself in a happy situation. If you're going to visualize.
Yeah, that's it. And happiness may be in so many different ways. Do you know what I mean? It's, just maybe even content, just at peace.
Contentment, at peace. And meditation is a way to do that. So in my book, Prosperity Meditations, it's called Prosperity Meditations because it has a lot of meditations in it, guided meditations. And the guided meditations, what I recommend is that you read audibly the meditations onto a device, onto your computer or someplace. Read the meditation, record it, and then sit comfortably, get really in a comfortable place, turn on the device and replay what you've spoken into the computer or whatever, and close your eyes and just allow yourself to guide yourself into meditation. In other words, listen to your own voice guiding you into the meditation.
Well, hopefully you'll have an audiobook version of this one day as well.
I have audiobooks of all my other books, like Earth Energy Meditations and Third Eye Meditations and Instant Healing. And actually all the books that are here, they're audiobooks. I have 20 books in print. I just only had room to put these up, but on almost all my books, I have audiobooks. So hopefully this one will be made into an audiobook too. I don't know if it will, but I hope so.
So you've lived this truth, basically. That's what you're saying. You've been there, done it, worn the t-shirt, and this is what you've discovered on your journey.
Well, I've been in this field for 50 years, and through those years, I have steadfastly been in the consciousness raising field, wanting to help people to discover their true self. And so I've helped people to manifest their destiny, to find out what their purpose is, and also help people to be more natural, to be themselves, and to do what they came to do on Earth. Yeah. So,
well, Susan, what would you say is a really important message of this book so far? Do you think that you might want to leave us on?
Money is good. Abundance is good, and pushing it away will not bring it to you. So welcome into your life that which is good, and money will help you to have more power. But money is not the end all be all, for sure. What the end all be all is manifest that which you came to do on earth. Manifest your true mission, your true purpose, your true destiny. And the unlimited thinking exercise can help you to discover what that is.
Yeah. Well, Susan, your website is?
drsusan.org. I have two websites that are important, drsusan.org and also divinetravels.com. That's DIVINETRAVELS, Divine Travels, plural on the travels.com.
Susan, just thank you so much for joining us.
And thanks for inviting me, Kevin. It's been a pleasure to speak with you today.